got out of the military in 2011. I was actually in Basra, Iraq at the time. They sent me back to ETS. And at that point in time, I really didn't know what I was going to do with my life. I know this is something that a lot of veterans struggle with constantly. Upon getting out, it just took a lot of soul searching and trying to figure out what I was going to do in this town and do with my life. Not only did that, also had to worry about what was going on back in Iraq with the guys that I left. Just dealing with everyday life, trying to become normal again. You don't have the structure anymore. You don't have the camaraderie. And I had, 4 or 5 guys in my truck that I was responsible for on a daily basis. Making sure that when we go outside the wire, we come back in together. And that's a huge responsibility that I just didn't have any longer in my life once I got out. I didn't have somebody's son or somebody's husband or father to take care of. And I think that's what I was missing out on and what I was struggling with. I just struggled with having a sense of purpose for the most part. I just felt like I was no longer important. I mean, there's a bunch of different issues as it relates to transitioning from active duty or soldier to civilian. And one of the biggest hurdles I had to overcome was finding what I was going to do with my life. And I got out of the Army as an infantry guy. Didn't really have any skills other than what they teach the infantry dudes, but college degree in criminal justice. And the first job interview I went on, they offered me $10 an hour. So I can imagine what it's like. A lot of guys go in at 18 years old, get out at 21, 22. They don't have any education. They don't have anything else to fall back on. And if they've got an infantry background, they really don't have any skills that'll help them in the real world. So that was probably the biggest, kick in the stomach that I've ever encountered in my life.
What's your take on post-traumatic stress disorder and how it relates to veteran suicide?
I just had a hard time accepting that it was an actual disease, or it existed. There's a multitude of different ways that somebody can, get PTSD, and it's real, and it's. I don't feel like it's reported on enough now. I'm a little bit more sensitive to the fact that it exists, and it's an issue that we need to deal with now rather than later. And as far as dealing with PTSD, you can tell when a veteran comes back and he's missing an arm or he's disfigured or whatever he has going on. But with PTSD, you can't. There's no signs a lot of times. We have no idea that somebody's dealing with the things that they're dealing with until it's too late.
What exactly is Rain22?
It's more of a movement than it is a fundraiser or apparel. It's an idea that you can take anything in your life and turn it into good for others. And it doesn't matter how complex you get with it or how big you want to take it. If you want to just keep it something that you do on a daily basis, you can literally do that and turn it around into a positive. And this started out with me complaining about how much it's rained in Lake Charles, Louisiana this year. And it just drove me nuts to the point where I told my wife, if it rains one more day, we're moving. That's it, I'm done. And she said, well, instead of, what are you going to do about it? And I took that and thought about my buddy who was donating part of his commissions to help fight veteran suicide. So I just figured for every inch of rain next year in Lake Charles, I was going to donate $22 to help fight veteran suicide. Hopefully by 2016, we'll be able to kick off the full fundraiser, which would be, we'll have different levels of pledges and people, if they want to participate in Rain22, they'll be able to go from all the way from $1 and an inch to as high as they want. Me by myself doing it, I can only do so much, but if as a group we get together and we make these pledges, we can do a lot of good and help fight this disease. We're currently in the process of connecting with Paws and Stripes, which is a service dog group out of New Mexico. And basically they take any veteran that needs PTSD or that suffers from PTSD, and they link them up with a service dog who actually comes from a shelter. So they're doing, they're helping a veteran, and they're also helping a dog who doesn't have a home. You're literally giving a soldier a battle buddy again, and somebody that he can depend on to watch his back. So we're also looking into another organization that directly deals with veteran suicide. So all the money, all the proceeds that we raise are going strictly to those guys, and hopefully we can give them as much as possible.